This is a bonus lesson on pronunciation. It's a lot of review, but it's all from the perspective of the Korean letter H. Korean letter H is actually one of the most weird and wonderful letters in the entire Korean alphabet, and I thought it would be fun to draw attention to it in its own special video. First of all, it's not really called H. I like to use the English names of the Roman equivalents of the Korean letters. It makes things more simple when you're learning. That's my philosophy. But the true name of the Korean letter H is Hieut. Okay, seems as though I have a minor correction/clarification to make already. I'm so glad I decided to make this video. I taught you that when in the Bacham, this letter is silent. But looking at this word and how to pronounce it, it's clear that that is not always the case. You see, the letter H often mixes with the next consonant in the word and thus is not pronounced. But in these rare instances, when H comes at the end of the word, it sounds like T. Remember we had a list of 6 letters that sound like T in the Bacham? T, D, CH, J, Hess, double S. Well, now we have a 7th, but with a very important footnote. Only at the end of a word. And for all you people named Matt out there, you now have 7 different ways to spell your name. So here's something I have realized about the letter Hieut. Basically, it is rarely pronounced. It is not pronounced when in the Bacham, unless it's at the end of a word, which, like I said, is rare, extremely rare. And it is not pronounced if the preceding block ends in any consonant that has an aspirated partner or is modified when in the Bacham. That is to say, any block that ends in a K sound, T sound, or P sound. Do you remember the aspiration rule? Well, it actually goes even further. I'll explain it in a minute. And it's not pronounced when it is part of a consonant pair, no matter whether the next character begins with a nothing consonant or not. However, it is pronounced as H if it is at the beginning of a word or the preceding block has only 2 letters. If the preceding block ends in a nothing, M, N, or RL, it is meant to be pronounced as H, but it is often omitted in speech. Yes, you're technically supposed to say the H sound when your preceding consonant is one of the ones which is not modified when written in the Bacham. But when people speak at a regular speed, they often neglect to pronounce the Hieut. For example, the word hello. An, nyang, ha, se, yo. It's often said 안녕하세요. If you ask a Korean to break it down and teach it to you syllable by syllable, they will always say the H sound. An, nyang, ha, se, yo. But in practice, when they're greeting someone, they often omit the H sound. 안녕하세요. Generally speaking, in the cases where Hieut is in the initial position of a character block, in the middle of a word, it behaves a lot like the nothing consonant. The preceding consonant will come in and take its spot. But, unlike the nothing consonant, the preceding letter maintains its Bacham pronunciation if it has one. Like I was saying a moment ago, Hieut is silent when preceded by any consonant which has an aspirated partner or is modified when in the Bacham. This means it's definitely silent when preceded by P, T, or K sounds. And it is usually silent when preceded by M, N, RL, or the nothing consonant, even though technically it's meant to be pronounced. Another thing that is unique to Hieut is how it behaves when it precedes a block that begins with a nothing consonant. Usually the consonant at the end of the leading character block moves into the place where the nothing consonant is and is pronounced with regular pronunciation, not Bacham pronunciation. The Hieut, however, does not do this. It just remains silent. For example, this word is joa, not jo-ha, and definitely not jot-ah. Joa. Now let's think back and remember reinforcement or tensification. That's when you have a P, T, or K sound in the bachem, followed by one of the 5 letters which can be doubled at the beginning of the next syllable. And then the PT or K sound causes those letters to be pronounced as if they actually were doubled. Well, although hieut does sometimes make a T sound in the bachem, when it's followed by one of these 5 consonants, it does not. So it will not induce reinforcement or tensification, usually. However, as I said at the start, hieut is a weird and wonderful letter, and so it does induce reinforcement / tensification, but only with the letter S. Only the letter S. And now, here's a new interesting rule called palatization. This occurs when you have a character block with a letter that makes a T sound in the bachem, and the next syllable is he. That's hieut plus E. No other vowel but E. And when you have this combination, T sound plus he, it comes together and sounds like chi. It kind of blends together. That is palatization. Palatization can also happen with a nothing consonant rather than the hieut. The letter T plus the nothing consonant and E turns into chi, and the letter D plus the nothing consonant and E turns into G. So that was some good review plus some new stuff. Like always, I will try my best to remind you of these pronunciation rules as we encounter them in the future. Try playing my game. It's called How Do You Pronounce the Hieut? Answers are in the comments section. I have a transcription for you in the description if you like, and 안녕히 계세요, and thank you for studying with me.